Good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to our weekly sales meeting. My name is Michael Rapaski, and I'll be your host this morning, as I am every Tuesday morning, and really excited to have all of you with us for what's going to be a great session today. We got a great topic and one that I think often gets discussed, and then it never feels like there's the time, energy, or resources to really put it into practice. But guess what? As we hit the holidays, as we hit the slow season for real estate, we're gonna have a little bit more time on our hands, which is going to allow us to maybe put a dent in our social media strategy. So that's what we're going to talk about today with someone who has a really strong social media strategy, and that is Chris Case. So that's top of the hour. Let's dive into everything that we've got. All right. Well, it looks like I started on the wrong slide. Hold, please. Started at the end, not the beginning. Classic. All right, stay on top of mind with social media. All right, so we're going to start this week, as we do every week, talking a little bit about our values and I think, or excuse me, our belief system. I think the one that is going to fit in today is creativity, ideas before results. Don't be afraid, especially in this subject matter that is social media. There are formulas, there are strategies, there are models and systems, as there are everywhere. And if you make your social media look like everybody else's, it could just blend in. So doing something a little fun, a little disruptive, could be something that brings you a lot more enjoyment as it relates to doing this piece of your marketing. But two, it could also be the thing that makes the difference as it relates to you getting what you want out of that investment. So as we go through today and as we talk to Chris, you're going to hear a little bit about some of the fun things that she does and ways that she makes it interesting and focuses on creativity, a la ideas before results. Guys, next week is Thanksgiving. We are 9 days away from Thanksgiving, and we have 46 days left in the year. So let that sink in. 2023, literally right around the corner. But there is still time to do a lot of business, and there's still time to do a lot of good. Our team, one of our teams on the West Side, the Chase Group, is the founder and implementer of a program called Thanksgiving Heroes here in Cleveland. And this year they are going to serve Thanksgiving meals to individuals in need. Roughly 2,000 meals, I think, is the count. And so there's a great opportunity for you to contribute. All this week, they are working in their warehouse, getting everything organized for the upcoming deliveries, which will take place on Saturday. So Saturday, 2,000 boxes with full Thanksgiving meals. We're talking turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce, pumpkin pies, and everything in between is going to make it to families in need throughout Northeast Ohio. They are looking for folks to volunteer and to nominate families that may be in need of that sort of care, concern, and that meal. So if you have any interest in that, pop into their Facebook group, scan the code to volunteer. They're looking for people to pack boxes and deliver food, and then put your, if you know somebody, if you know a family in need, please help them get what they need this holiday season. And a big thank you to Matt Chase, the Chase Group, and everybody who participates, donates, and supports this cause or any other to alleviate some of the difficulties around the holiday season. As you have hopefully seen, checked out, heard, 297agent.com, that's your resource website. Everything from a full directory of all the agents in our office. So if you're like, hey, I need to get a hold of that Art Obleton guy. I always hear that he's a top listing agent and I want to learn from him. Well, guess what? You can go look up Art's name, phone number, and email address and reach out to him or anybody that you're trying to get in touch with. All of our documents, all updated documents related to transactions, our training calendar, all of our training events, our training library is linked there. Reserve conference rooms, download marketing materials, get things that you need to pump up your marketing and advertising. And then, you know, what's the thing that's got nearly the most hits? You want to know that the market's shifting, that we're moving from speed-based to skill-based as a market. How do you know? Number one hit on the website is open house forms. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it's because we're out there looking for the motivated. Find the motivated in this market. And the folks who are walking around in 50-degree temperatures instead of, or 40-degree temperatures instead of watching the Browns suffer another loss on a Sunday, those people are probably looking to buy a house sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks, right? And so you can find the motivated there. And then the second highest visited page on the website is the one with scripts. And so if we could just drop the link directly to the scripts library in there. There are scripts for all seasons, scripts for all markets available on the website. And if you don't know what to say or how to say it, go there, download some scripts, pick up the phone, and just say the words on the page. As Eric Akbar, our productivity coach on the East Side, always says, no one knows that you're reading from a script. They can't see that you are. So go ahead and do that now. But take advantage of this, guys. Set it as your homepage. This is a great place to frequent, to make sure you're up to date on everything related to training, events, education, scripts, support, all that. And then just last week, or I guess, geez, 2 weeks ago now, Real Agent Perks launched, and the healthcare plans available to 1099s, for those of you who don't know, or maybe haven't dug into it, are sometimes more challenging. Sometimes there's less offerings, sometimes they're more expensive, harder to access at the very least. And so our organization partnered with Capstone Financial and has created a pathway for 1099 independent contractors, that's you, to get access to more and better health benefits plans on the exchanges. And so open enrollment's taking place right now. If you are interested in exploring those plans, learning more about this opportunity, if you don't have healthcare, health insurance, or health coverage, you probably should. The easiest way to stay in the business is stay in the business, and that means being healthy and not getting knocked out by some cataclysmic healthcare charge. So take advantage of this. This is something that I know a lot of people have been looking for, asking for, something that we've explored in the past, and now we have a national partnership available for Keller Williams agents exclusively. So take advantage of that as a part of how you prepare for the road ahead and protect yourself for everything that could come your way. And then in case you missed it, this was a awesome session by Sean, Don, and Chris for arms and buy downs and points, right? Now we got a little reprieve. We're going to hear about that, about why and how we got a little bit back from an interest rate standpoint. But guys, I promise you, it is not here to stay. And so your ability to master or understand or articulate and guide people through things like whether or not an arm is appropriate, whether or not they should be asking for buy downs or points, or how they can leverage in the transaction to get those things. Sean, Don, and Chris did a fantastic job of explaining that. This is on our YouTube channel. It's on our website. Take advantage of it. If you missed it, we had over 40 people there, and it's one that should get a lot of views, as it's going to be really, really useful in the next 4 to 6 months and beyond. And then our upcoming trainings, we have a great event coming up on December 9th here in Northeast Ohio. Our international tech trainers and national or regional tech trainers will be leading an agent-specific event around KW Command. Regardless of your level of expertise, regardless of your level of experience, this is going to be a really powerful and impactful way to jump in with both feet on the technology, or to continue to leverage to maximize in your business. We'll need every advantage that we can get, and having some of the most powerful technology in the real estate industry in your fingertips is going to be a huge source for you and your clients to get the job done over the course of the next year. And then tomorrow, guys, do not miss it. Do not miss it. Gratitude gatherings tomorrow. We will be going first in Rocky River from 11 to 1. And then next and then in Pepper Pike from, that says 5 to 7. We're actually going to get underway a little bit early, 4 o'clock. And then we will run that until it runs, probably no later than 7. At the end of the day, this is a great opportunity to get together and do a little potlucking. So if you haven't signed up to potluck something, I put a pot of beans on this morning, so bring your appetites. Big bean day tomorrow, and we will enjoy some snacks, some treats, some food, and spending some time with each other, celebrating and being grateful for the awesome year that we have had thus far, and really encouraging each other for the year ahead. And then finally, our featured training for the month is going to be Win with Sellers with Shoshana Socher. Shoshana has taken dozens and dozens and dozens of listings this year. And so winning with sellers is her bag. And she is acutely capable of leading this course. And she will be teaching from the official Keller Williams University materials. And so you will be getting some highly model-based, highly skill-based training from one of our best listing agents in the company. And then if you have not RSVP'd yet, get your tickets to the holiday party. If you can bring a friend, you are encouraged to bring your spouse, bring a friend, bring anybody you want. Everybody gets 2 tickets. It's a great time. A lot of fun is had by all. If you were there last year, you know that. Check our public Facebook page to see photographic evidence of a blast being had by everyone. And we'll look forward to seeing you there on December 3rd, 5 p.m. It's at Goodnight John Boy in the Flats. And then finally, family reunion is right around the corner. It's in Anaheim, California. So if Disney's on your bucket list, you could get 2 birds with 1 stone here. Get out to California, get together with about 25,000 other agents throughout the world. Listen to the greatest mind in real estate, that is Gary Keller, lead an amazing 4-day session that will mark the 40th anniversary of Keller Williams as a company. So a very, very big celebration in Anaheim next February. If you need information on that, links are in the chat. Be there or be square. And then an update. The 17 ways to win in the new market got moved from last week. So it will now be on November 22nd. That is 1 week from today. We have no sales meeting next week. So keep that in mind. If you're looking to get your standard Tuesday fix, you can do that with our guy, Jeff Glover, coming to town. And that will be in Middleburg Heights next Tuesday. Don't miss the opportunity to learn from an agent and rainmaker who sells over 1,000 units a year in Detroit. He has massive market share, incredibly talented, and will be leading this section next week. All right, let's throw it over to our partners, starting with the Cross Country Crusaders, Sean, Don, and Chris. Let's get those guys up on the big screen and hear what they have to say about a little blip that we had last week, a positive blip. From a mortgage rate standpoint. What's going on?
Good morning, everybody. So yes, indeed, good news. So Friday markets were closed for Veterans Day, but Thursday morning, inflation numbers came out, and you've heard us for the last 10 months talking about inflation's going up, rates are going up. Rates are going up because inflation's going up. Well, last Thursday we were expecting inflation to drop slightly. It came in, it did in fact drop even a little bit more than slightly. So markets reacted. Interest rates went from kind of that low 7s to now kind of sneaking into the high 6s, depending on the loan program and credit scores and all of that. It's an opportunity. We don't know if this will be long-term. I think most are thinking this is kind of just a little blip and maybe possibly an overreaction in the favor of consumers and the markets. So the message out there, yeah, rates have dropped a little bit, may or may not be a sign of things to come, but jump on it if I'm talking to a customer in a position to do that. Second thing, just to remind you guys, we are on the first floor, and please stop by anytime. We haven't had kind of a formal kind of grand opening party, but we are down here on the first floor. And while anyone is in the office here, we'll probably have the World Cup games going on for the next month, starting next Monday. So just a heads up on that. And then I just dropped in an Affinity trifold into the chat box. We have a really, really cool option. If we can sign up companies, 50 people or larger, W-2 employees, we can be their affinity lender. We can be, companies, no cost, no obligation, more or less. We can be, if you've got a car dealership with 50 people there, by referring us, or I should say by us being partners with this company, we can provide lunch and learns, we can provide training, consultation. Best of yet, no appraisal, no lender fees, no credit report, no flood certification. So we could save the buyer $2,200 in every transaction. So where this comes in is if you have a contact, maybe a previous customer who works in HR or is a owner of a company or an executive, what great, what at one contact can lead you to the access to every employee within and offer them a, no obligation, lender partner who's going to save everyone $2,000 in their closing costs. So sorry if I get a little wordy there, but Don and Chris, anything you guys want to add?
There's not much more to say about the Affinity program. Anytime you have the ability to save money and closing costs on a transaction, by all means do it. And again, it doesn't cost anybody to get signed up for this program as far as the company. But it's just a strict, flat out benefit to them and their employees.
Yeah, and they're not locked into anything, which I think is a benefit. If they don't think it works for them or they would like to walk away, they're not trapped in a contract or anything like that. The other place that maybe, if you're a part of your community, local municipalities could probably really benefit from it. All of the workers, police, fire, all the maintenance staff, all of them could get this benefit, and it doesn't cost the city anything, which my father-in-law's a councilman in Lyndhurst. When I pitched it at him, he was like, oh, they're going to love that. So if that fits your needs or someone let us know.
Great opportunity, guys, to again, everything we're doing should be looking at it coming from contribution and making an offer for an immediate response, right? And so when you can unlock by walking in with value, potentially dozens of future buyers and sellers with no skin in the game yourself, it's a huge opportunity. So thanks for bringing that bringing that to us today and every day, gentlemen, and keep doing whatever you're doing to keep those rates low. It does not go unnoticed. All right, Greater Metropolitan Title and Escrow. Do we have
Good morning,
Jade?
everyone. I'm here.
There you are.
I just wanted to let everyone know we are planning on doing another CE on December 7th. And I remember at the business clinic, a lot of people had questions on how to save taxes. So this is going to be a 2-hour virtual CE on just saying no to taxes. Who doesn't want to, learn some tips that can save them some money in the end game? So join us virtually. I'm going to put the Eventbrite link to register in the chat right now. And hopefully I will see everyone on the 7th.
All right, excellent. And I think I saw Gina. Gina, did I see you? Nah, maybe not. I could be making things up. Yeah, it appears that I am. All right, well, we're gonna rock and roll on over to our feature presentation for this morning, which is none other than the very fantastic, very popular, both in person and on social media, Miss Chris Chase. Chris, I'm gonna get you up on the big board here. Let me, well, if I can figure out how to do that, excuse me. All right, Chris, tell us all a little bit about yourself before we dive in here. Where in the world are you? How long you been in real estate? And what are you targeting for your goals for 2023?
Hi, everyone. So I started in real estate about 2.5 years ago. It ended up being 3 days before the shutdowns. So the first 3 months were all online. So that was, different and a little bit, difficult at first, trying to get started. And that first year I ended up selling 8 houses. Last year it was 17, and this year I'll double my business. It'll be close to the numbers, but volume wise, I'll double my volume of sold units.
That's for 2022. You've gone from 17 to almost 34 units.
Yes, I've lost count right now on the houses. I've just been focused on my clients. I'll be honest. I've just, I try not to focus as much on that part of it. It just kind of tailoring to my customers' needs. But volume wise, I'll definitely, I was at like 2.4 million last year, and I'll hit at least 5 million this year, maybe a little bit over.
Wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that, Chris. Before we get into how social media drives that, is there anything in particular that you've done this year? Maybe it is enlisting some support or some coaching that has led to any of that really strong success?
Well, I will say that, at the beginning of the year, I was very nervous because I had one house that closed the first week of January, and the next house that closed wasn't until the end of May. So I went through a 3-month period of panic, thinking, do I join a team? What should I do? Do I quit? But I did stay consistent with everything that I do. And so all of a sudden, April 1st, my phone just blew up. People that didn't know either was watching me on social media or, referrals, things like that. And then, I got my first over $1 million listing and sold. So that was exciting. And then I ended up joining coaching with Eric Akbar at the end of March. So he helps to kind of bring my sanity, bring everything together and keep me on pace.
That's awesome. And I think there's such an important message in what you just said. Beyond the social media stuff that we're gonna dig into here in a minute, is that you kept the faith, right? Sometimes, and I promise you all in this upcoming market, there will be days or weeks, or I hope not, but maybe months where you may not see the immediate results that we have seen in the last in 2020 and 2021. But you kept the faith, and from only having one closing down in January, and did you say your second closing of the year was in May?
Yeah, the end of May. Yeah, it was a hard few months.
Yeah. So through the first 5 months of the year, you had 2 closings, and you're going to finish the year over 5 million in sales and over 30 closings. And I think that is a testament to focusing on the activities, your lead indicators, make your calls, make your contacts, get your appointments, and the results will flow from there. So congratulations. That is a huge, huge piece of perseverance that I don't think should go unnoticed.
Well, thank you.
All right, now let's talk about what we came here to talk about, which is this staying top of mind with social media. You're very active on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Are there any others that you're on that I don't know about that the kids are using these days?
So those were my main sources, and over this past week or so, I'm branching out to Twitter, Google My Business, and YouTube.
Okay. Getting into the fray in Twitter, gonna steal some blue check marks. I love that. And I love the Google My Business and the YouTube are huge. Of the 3 that you're playing in right now, right? Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. What are the differences in the content that you put out on those? What are the differences in the level of engagement, and where are you seeing like the wins come from?
I will say that, because TikTok, I just started over the last few months, probably the end of spring, May or so is when I really started TikTok, and I try to learn as much as I can for my daughters, which they're not very helpful at times until I get paid, and then they're more helpful. But as far as most of my engagement is through Facebook, my personal page. I also have my business page, which, I still try to post some things there. Other things are more for people that I know or have met, that type of thing. But like, for example, there was a gentleman that reached out to me right when I joined, and I announced that I was a real estate agent now. And a few months in, he friended me, and then he mentioned that they thought about maybe moving eventually. And so I put him on like my Christmas card list. So the last 2 years, I've sent him a Christmas card with my calendar. And then this year, he and his wife reached out. They said they don't care for their neighbors and they want to buy and sell a house. So with those 2 and another guy I went to elementary school with, who I hadn't talked to in years, he's in Minnesota, and he called or messaged me and said that his mom passed away a couple of years ago, and that, could I help him and his sister sell her house in Lakewood, which, we listed it at over 300,000. So over these 30 days, I'll have almost $700,000 in business just from 3 people that I really haven't talked to in years, but they see my consistent postings.
That's outstanding. And I'm gonna keep a tally of things that we should all do today. And the first one is make sure, you do that post that says, hey, in case you forgot, in case you missed it, in case I never told you, I'm in real estate and I can help you and your loved ones navigate, whatever comes their way. That's huge. Would you say that's those deals, are those your biggest wins from the social media, or have you landed anything, or has there been anything else that you would say like, oh man, my biggest win was X, Y, or Z?
I would say, well, now that I'm branching out to TikTok, I'm doing a variety of like my entertainment shows / real estate stuff, and with my mascot that I have. And so every day I notice that I'm getting a few more followers, and people are from all over, and small businesses that I meet or I think are unique and that type of thing. I speak with them and ask if I can do a video on there just to draw some more attention for them. And so those type of things have been going over really well. Just more people then wanting to know more about me, and then they want to see their video, of course, and then it just expands from there.
That is excellent. Let's talk a little bit about video, right? Because you do a lot of video. I mean, TikTok is all video, but even on the Facebook, you do plenty of video. What was there limiting beliefs there? Were you like, oh God, this is gonna be, I can't believe I'm doing this? Like, do you still get a little nervous before you post videos? Talk to the people who want to do what you're doing, but can't seem to get out of their own way.
Sure. As far as that part, I finally found something that I'm comfortable with, because normally it's the opposite. Just because I usually, like, if I crack myself up, I don't like, it's more like that. Like, I just really feel like, the main things are to have fun, be genuine, and be consistent. And that's kind of what I live by. And I really do. I never post to like gloat about myself or, look at me, look how great I am. It's always about, I am very grateful and I'm very humbled, and I know it can go away just as fast as, well, it didn't come fast, but you know what I mean? So I'm very humbled by that. And I am very grateful, no matter how many houses I sell, that I still get that other piece of business. And I think that is what comes through on my, my videos and in person with my clients. So I would recommend that, when you're doing something, whether it's a video or just, volunteering or whatever it is, I mean, really do it for the right reasons, and, maybe teach somebody about something, or if it's, a house, or maybe get a different spin on, instead of just being like, hey, look at my new listing, which I do these too, but, maybe there's a unique part about the house, or, maybe it's in a crazy part of the area. So then you might want to show some video of something around the house where it's located, so that it's like, oh wow, look at that small little town and the shops that are there and that type of thing, just to make it more interesting for the viewers to want to watch longer. And then I also would recommend not making the videos too long. Usually
Okay.
on TikTok, I try to stay within about a minute, usually, unless it's very informative. And Facebook, it just seems like you keep their attention longer for the whole video if it's a shorter piece. Right.
I love what you said there about have fun, be genuine, and be consistent. If it, if it hurts, you're doing it wrong, right? And if it
Mhm.
doesn't feel good, you're probably not doing it right. And so how to make it easier to do it is to just do what you would like to do. So you crack yourself up, have fun, be yourself. That resonates, I'm sure, with your clients in a tremendous way.
Mhm. Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of messages too, like people that because people are watching, but you really don't know who's always watching, and you always have the people that watch but will never comment. And so I just doing what I'm doing, and so I have gotten comments where they're like, Chris, oh my gosh, I've people that maybe I knew, again, maybe elementary, junior high, and they said, like, I've sold a lot of houses through the years, and I've never seen a real estate agent like take your spin on things, or you look like you're just having so much fun, and like it's like enjoyable to watch your stuff just because it's different. And so that's when I feel like, okay, I'm doing something right, because I'm getting some feedback, but it's only here and there, it's not all the time, but it's okay. I feel like I'm serving a purpose, and entertaining. I like to make people laugh, so it's kind of a combination.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. And what a way to make it easier on yourself and not have it feel like a chore, and to be able to do it consistently. Now let's talk about, is it too soon in the conversation to talk about the happy house?
No, never.
Would you mind telling, if anybody, guys, also, Chris, when you get a second, put all your handles in the chat so that we know where to find you, so folks can see the content. But the happy house, right?
Mm-hmm. Happy home, yeah.
How did we get here?
So the really backstory is that in high school, probably 11th, 12th grade, for whatever reason, when the holidays would come up, I just started dressing up in costumes. So I would make things at home and I'd wear them all day in class. And I was in the yearbook a bunch of times, but people would get excited and they'd say, oh, Chris, what are you going to be tomorrow? And I said, well, you got to wait and see, and I don't know why I did it, but it was just funny. And everybody knew me. And then moving forward in my early 20s, I went to a Browns game and at the time they had a mascot that was called Huddles, and it was like a big number 0 guy, and he had curly hair, and I was like, I want to be that. So then I made a lot of calls, and I ended up being the mascot for the Browns for a few preseason games, and I got paid $100 a game, and met Bernie Kosar down there. It was really funny. So it just kind of like, I guess, in my DNA. So when I started real estate and coaching, they had mentioned, find your niche, find something that and everything's been done before and whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I've got to have a mascot. So I had a few people look at me like I was crazy, but that's the one thing that like has been consistent. It's in my branding. It's in my, I have a new, like almost like a game board type step-by-step for buying a house or selling a house. And it's really cute. It's very animated, and the happy homes at the top with the start, it's like your path to buying a house. And so it's pretty much in everything I do. And people, seem to recognize me now when they see the house. So that's gone over really well.
That's great. Well, go ahead. If you could just open up your chat, jam in your stuff so people click along and see that. And for those of you who don't already follow Chris and don't know, the Happy House is a full-size mascot of a red home that is smiling from ear to ear, or eve to eve, I guess, as it were. And it's fun. Now, do you ever have clients that's like request the Happy House? Like, are they like, hey, when are we going to see the Happy House now that we've bought or sold?
Yeah, actually, it is quite funny. I mean, I've had people that want to work for me, like want to work with me down the road, but they're not ready yet. I've had them where they said, oh, I can't wait till the house dances for us. And and then I had one write me the other day, and I forgot what video I did on TikTok. She wrote, she's like, oh my God, she's like, I hope I can win the lottery so I can buy another house so you can sell it. She's like, you are hysterical. And then last night I was working with a family, and the 2 little kids, they're just so cute. And I bought them little flashlights because they always want to borrow my flashlight when we go look at these fixer-upper homes for their dad. And I was showing them my videos last night, and they go, we like Happy Home. And I said, well, when we buy your house, I said, Happy Home's going to come visit you. Okay. And so they're very excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So here's one thing that I think, a lot of people who even are active on social media struggle with. How do you get from, I've got likes, I've got followers, I've got people commenting even. How do you get it from the social media portal to showing a home? Like, no one, how are you making that transition from you liked my post or you commented? How can I help? What's the follow-up there?
I have to say a lot of my business right now is a lot of referrals and a lot of, people that knew me years ago, and then they see my things. And I think it is that whole, like, no trust. And slowly, I'll get comments from people. There's a lady I met my first couple months of real estate, and she was a tenant in a house that I was showing at night. And it was for another agent, just briefly spoke with her, and a couple months later, she called me. She said, I kept your card. I don't know if you remember me, but you were just so nice to me. And so now 2.5 later, I still keep in contact her. She follows me on TikTok, and she'll comment like, I can't wait till you help me find my house. And this coming year, she's going to be buying a house for the first time. And so it's like little things like that, build, or they'll share your video. And then that's when I just keep encouraging anytime that they have questions, call me, that I'm always available. And I think it's just that sense of when they're ready, they'll call or they'll contact you, but you just have to keep that consistent message going.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a good articulation. We always say fortune's in the follow-up, right? But if you meet somebody, they like your post, you have a two-way exchange, get them onto your drip, get them into all of those ecosystems where you're going to get touches, and then ultimately drive towards the appointment, because you do something, you manage a really great pipeline, right? So you've referenced a few times in this conversation, people that are buying, right now or before the end of the year or next year. What's your pipeline look like for 2023 right now?
I want to say I'm at 80 some buyers, and potentially 50 or so sellers.
Okay.
that and I'm already working on my like holiday list of who I'll be sending out to, and, just people that I met through the grapevine. And, I just really talk to everyone, and give them my information. And, and then that is, you're right, the follow-up, and even the holiday card or the note that it was nice meeting them. That's really what has really impacted my business.
Yeah. Well, and I want to, I want to really highlight a point here is that, and probably pull up either on a spreadsheet or in Command in your sales pipeline. Here are all the people that I expect to buy or sell next year. That in and of itself is a level of awareness that, I wish we all had. Hell, I wish I had it, Chris. And then, from there, you're able to be really intentional about the follow-up, because just knowing that somebody might buy or sell next year doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do it with you, but you're not going to leave that to chance. Right. So your follow-up, your hits, your touches are going to be directed, yes, at your entire database, but first and foremost, and maybe most intensely or intently, is going to be towards those folks who are thinking about buying or selling. I mean, if you, is that right? Am I summarizing that correctly?
Yes, I agree with that. And I recently hired a virtual assistant. So over the last couple of weeks, I asked her, because I know two handfuls of people that I know because of the market. They're like, we're going to wait till probably be in next year, spring, summer. So, now I created a tag that says spring 2023. So I know that I can just pull all of them up, because I know those people will be the hottest leads that I have.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. So let's get back a little bit on this social media component here. What are some things you mentioned, right? Google My Business, Twitter, and YouTube. Those are what's getting added to the deck, to the plan, to the strategies for 2023. What are some of the things that you're going to roll out in those? If I don't know what Google My Business is, or what are you going to be making YouTubes of?
I'm sorry, and the question was what will I be doing with that, or I didn't hear the beginning part.
What are you gonna do with each one of those? Like, how are you deploying on those apps or on those platforms?
Well, first of all, with the Google My Business, I was having reviews put on Zillow, and then I noticed, although everybody put 5 stars, it shows that I have 4.5 stars, which really makes me mad. And so I'm trying to figure that out. And then I noticed a few people recently that went to go put in a review, it's not showing up. I tried writing them. So apparently I did try a small paid, couple months on Zillow, and I wasn't that happy with it. But now that I stopped paying, it looks like they're no longer posting my reviews, like anything new. So Google My Business now is a place where I'll be sending my clients. I know that Jeff Lover talks about posting it on, several reviews at a time. I haven't really got to that point yet, but at least I have a place where they can go to submit a review, and that'll be my new location for that. As far as YouTube, I thought about, I may be doing interviews, branching off of all the videos I have done that they're just kind of floating around. It'll start going to the YouTube channel, so people can watch the variety of things that I've covered or done, or small businesses that I've promoted, and just unique spins on some of the houses that I've sold. And so I'm still kind of playing around with where I'll take that. And I'm trying to think what else. And I've even done where, say there's a language barrier. There was someone that's was Middle Eastern, and I ended up going to Google Translate, and because I was trying to get her business, I talked to her son, and so I wrote a letter through Google Translate and then dropped the card off to her son to give to his mother. So I'm still working on her, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I can't stress enough. Everyone should have a Google My Business. Everyone should put their reviews on Google for no other reason than the most visited website in the world is Google, right? And if you're looking to catch organic traffic or to be where people are, Google, number one in the world for visits per day. Number two, YouTube. So I like where you're at, and you can push people back and forth, right? Push them from your Facebook, your TikTok to your Instagram, to your YouTube, to write your reviews on Google My Business, and you can highlight that there. Is there anything that you're dropping, right? Is there anything that you're like, hey, you know what? Tried it, didn't like it, don't enjoy it, not doing it consistently. I'm not doing this anymore from a social media platform standpoint or from a posting standpoint.
I don't know. I mean, whenever I can do videos in advance so that they're stored, that, I can use, that is helpful, that, because there are some nights where it's like, oh gosh, I didn't post yet. And I want to make sure I have something out, especially on TikTok. I know they always say, because I'm not really looking to be like a TikTok sensation, but I have consistent, anywhere from like 200 to 400 and some consistent. And there's been other videos that have reached a couple thousands. So I'm just looking to be consistent with that. And I'm not to the point of doing like 2 a day or 3 a day, because, first and foremost, I am a realtor, I have to work at some point. But the more I get out, I do, because there's times that, you almost, when you're not working, you just want to stay home or just maybe not be real social. So I'd say over the last 6 months, really pushed myself out when I'm invited somewhere to go. And because then it leads to other things by me getting out, and then I end up enjoying myself. So I would really encourage people to, to really take advantage of when you're invited somewhere to go out and talk and have your business cards if you need it. And when you get on that subject, it's like, oh, wait, well, let me give you a card. And if you ever need anything, feel free to give me a call. I do that a lot. But that's really helped me. I don't make as many cold calls as Eric Bar would like me to do. But I'm working on that. Yeah, I'm working on that part. But again, with the referrals and just, I really enjoy talking to people in person. So that's my strength. And that's, right now where I'm going.
So I want to condense that. You are leveraging social media as a way to stay top of mind, grab some mind share, but then you are delivering from as a real estate professional on the phone and in person, and your social focus is still in-person social, right? Show up at the party, go to the event, do the pop by, be present at the, sponsor the parade, whatever it is, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes. Yeah. Very more. I think it's just important, and people I think the younger generation is kind of losing on that a little bit. I know with my daughters, they hate talking to the pizza person, anybody. And, I just really think that's important to engage and interact. And people just really seem to gravitate to that even more. And I've been, I met a very nice Spanish speaking lady who keeps referring me to a bunch of people, in an area that they go to her church and they speak Spanish, and so last night I did a video. I was with the family and the little kids, I had them translate, if you want to buy a house, call Chris Case, and it was a little cheesy, but it was funny, and now hopefully it looks like they might get the house that we wrote an offer on last night. So I'm very, very happy for them. They've worked really hard. So it's just, like I said, I think being real personable and really caring, and showing that it really does mean, and the follow up even after you sell that house to see how they're doing, and make sure they're satisfied with everything.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. Well, as we kind of make our way towards the bottom of the hour here, I want to give the opportunity. One, as I go through my last few questions, anybody who is here, please drop some questions in the chat that you have for Chris. She is a great example of our culture. I know that she's not going to hold anything back, and there's nothing that she won't share with you guys. So please, if you want to know anything about her business or how she's found success through social media, please drop it in the chat now. Chris, before we wrap up here, is there anything that I didn't ask you or anything that we didn't get to talk about where you're like, hey, this is a really important thing for everybody to know?
I guess my main takeaway would be to say, making sure that you're just consistent, even when you really think like no one's watching or they think you're dumb. Like I posted a TikTok recently and it's really creepy house, and the family I'm working with, they don't have a lot of money. So he's okay with fixing things up. And, and then the woman came out and said someone passed away in the house. And it was like, really, so I made a creepy TikTok about it. And a guy wrote, the random person just wrote and said, you would show somebody a house like that and not clean first? And, right away I'm like, really? And then I just put, like laugh out loud. It's not my house. And, they know it's a fixer upper, and just kind of, fluffed away his negative comments. So, you might have those as well. But I just think you just stop caring about what other people think, as long as, you're doing everything in a positive way and giving back. It doesn't really matter, because there's going to be either haters or there's going to be people that don't have the confidence to do what you're doing or whatever. And so you just have to really just focus in knowing that you're doing something good and block that out, because that can really stop you if you start to think about it too much.
God, thank you for sharing that. That is, that's a great point. The haters are going to come out the more successful you are. And if anything, it's just a marker of, that you're doing the right thing. Maybe.
Mhm.
I think so.
Yeah.
And you're right. If you're doing it with positive intent and you're doing it to help people, you have nothing to worry about.
Mhm.
All right. A couple questions. Which platform's your favorite? How frequently do you use it?
So I've been, Facebook was my initial, and I would do the old fashioned first I would do, when I'd sell homes, mascot with dance, and I added music to it and just did it like really the old fashioned way, put my phone up to the YouTube and all that. And then I got a little more advanced. And so now I just record things on my phone and then I will edit them. There was iMovie, I think it was called. I used that a lot, where I could put music to the voiceover. And then now that I'm using TikTok, I've been creating, like I may do the video first and then add it in TikTok, and that's where I can edit it and put sound and the effects and things like that. And then once you post it, unfortunately, you can't edit it afterwards. So I would encourage you to make sure it's like exactly how you want it. And then once you post it, you can download it so that you have it. And then that's when I usually will then post it on Facebook. And I don't post everything I do on TikTok on Facebook. The things that really maybe I want people to see or I think are really nice, then I'll repeat it. And there's a button now on Facebook that you can just hit reel and I can download that video or upload that video onto the reel and then shoot it out. But I did one recently with clients, when they got their keys, and I think that hit over 5,000 views, and that's not even like a paid anything. And it kept updating because people kept liking it. And it was a cool video, I'll be honest, because my client, screamed, and it was funny. It was just a nice moment. And I did it by accident. And then Eric said, well, do you have any video like this? And I just happened to have it. So then I put it together. I wasn't going to use it. And it ended up being one of my best probably watched videos.
That's awesome. And so just if I'm understanding this correctly, you're not using any special third-party apps or widgets or anything. You're just editing inside of Reels or editing inside of TikTok and adding those things in there. Is that right?
Yeah. And now I just started getting onto Canva. Canva has some free items, but then there's like paid where you can get the more advanced, whatever it is, stickers, things like that. And there's a lot you can do in Canva. So I'm just learning more about that, but I've made a couple flyers, and I would recommend, like, Canva seems to be a very good thing that people are using now to create all sorts of things. So that one I would recommend.
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
And then I guess last question for the day. Everybody's really enjoyed. You're getting a little love in the chat, as one would expect. You're a rock star. What's the one piece of advice you'd leave everyone with today? What do we all need to go do right now?
I would just, start small. I would maybe think it out first of maybe something that interests you, because it might interest someone else. And if you maybe have a specialty or a little area that is unique. I would just kind of play off that a little bit. And that's the only reason at first I didn't join a team, because someone said to me, well, would you be okay if you couldn't do your videos anymore? And I was like, no. And so that's why I knew I had to be successful trying to do this on my own, because they're right. I'd have to, follow the team leaders, rules and policies and how they do things, which is totally understandable. But since I was doing so much already with my mascot, I would have to drop all of that. So I would just say, find your thing that's special and just really do little small parts. And even if it's like a 30-second video, you'll have more people watch it. And then if down the road, maybe expand it by another couple seconds and just get the feedback on it. And then if it seems that people liked it, then, go ahead and create something else.
Well, I don't want to lose sight of what, you emphasize, which is have fun, right? Like you are the same person in your TikToks and your Facebook and your Instagram, will be on your YouTubes, that you are, walking down the halls of either one of our offices.
Right.
And so,
Right.
and that makes it.
I'm probably even more quiet in the office than I am at, but it's like when I'm, doing my videos, I could be more, animated.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for being a part of today's session, for sharing everything that you've learned, the things that you do that you found success, how you're using social media to build your pipeline and to leverage. I think there's a great opportunity for everybody on this call who's not already doing it. Take advantage of the next 6 weeks that we have remaining in this year, 6.5 weeks, and focus on building that social media presence, grabbing some mind share, having some fun, and then translating it into a pipeline for 2023. Chris, I am really excited. Are we going to double the business again next year? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I'm actually playing around with the thought of starting a team, so we'll see.
Goodness. All right. Well, we love that. If there's anything that we can do to help, that's what we're here for. Thank you so much for pouring back into our agents, and can't wait to see what you do next.
Oh, sure. If anybody has questions, you can always, send me an email or something. I'm happy to help.
Yeah. And they can find your email at 297agent.com at the agent directory. So anybody that wants to reach out to Chris, go there, find her contact information, and give her some love. That's going to be all for this. We don't have a sales meeting next week. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy time with friends and family. And those of you who don't have anything going on this Saturday, the Chase Group still needs drivers for Thanksgiving Heroes. So give them a shout and go do some good before you eat all that food. We'll see you back here on the 29th. Have a good one, guys.